This is Scott Becker with the Becker Business Minute, the Becker Private Equity Podcast. And this is an idea that comes from one of my favorite people in the whole world, literally who gives me the best ideas for podcast. Absolutely love the person. Thank you so much. And today's discussion is, should you set New Year's resolutions and goals? And there are different concepts here at play. One of them is all these studies that show that the most successful people in the world set goals, set resolutions, set plans. That's one series of thoughts. The other series of thoughts is that life is the journey and not the destination. And if you could stick to the daily process, here are the core things I'm going to do this day without necessarily polluting it with specific goals, this is what I'm trying to accomplish with this, that would be a happier and more meaningful way to live. So if the core goal is I'm going to do one more random act of kindness for people, I'm going to drink this much water, I'm going to eat this well, I'm going to practice this sport, I'm going to work on this podcast. Rather than having specific goals, like I'm going to get my weight to this spot, I'm going to get my handicap to that point, we're going to get to this many downloads, we're going to try and get our investment management account to this amount. If rather than living in the world of these are the goals and targets, and move that to the spot of it's not so much the goals and targets, but it's much more about can I change it to this is the process, this is the journey every day, this is what we're trying to do every day. Would we be happier people and would we be better people? And would we possibly accomplish more by really focusing on the core day-to-day process than focusing absolutely on what we're trying to accomplish and the goals and the sort of resolutions? I think this is a great question, and maybe it's more the resolutions and goals should go to the process. I'm going to do these things each day because this is what gives my life meaning versus trying to necessarily set specific targets and goals. Now, I have to tell you, notwithstanding this concept from the person, one of the people in the world that I love, is this concept of constantly trying to hit this balance of the right process each day and setting goals. And I am a goal setter. I can't help myself. It's partly how I'm wired, so I can't necessarily negate that. But I do think there's a lot to be said for this. If you could stick to the process each day, this is how you're going to live. This is what you're going to try and do. You may be just as well off or better than setting specific goals and resolutions and more. So that's the topic for today. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast and the Becker Business Minute Podcast. The subject today is, should you set goals and New Year's resolutions or not? Pros and cons. Thank you for listening.